Hi everyone, this is the third video I'm making about plating. The first video was all about how to use a plating feeder. Second video I showed you a few techniques to get you started, and in today's video I'll be showing you some really fun ideas for you to explore. These techniques will look great when using a plating feeder, but I am sure they can look as nice even without one. I just wanted to show you the process. So this is the first sample I knitted. I know it doesn't look that great, but that is how knitting starts sometimes, with a very messy sample. And by trying and failing and then trying again, you can get really amazing results. You just have to trust the process. So from that sample with a few other trials in between, I got to this sample, and I will show you how to create this sample in this video. Also, if you enjoy my videos and would like to support my channel or would like to learn even more, you can join me on Patreon. I will leave a link for it in the description box below. Alright, so I have just knitted my 1x1 rib, and now I will transfer to have 3 stitches on my main bed and 3 stitches on my ribbon bed. Just a note, my beds are in full pitch for all the samples I will show you in this video, so just as you would be knitting a rib. I will begin forming eyelets with the stitches on my main bed. I will transfer the 2 stitches on the edges onto the middle stitch like so. Do that for all the stitches on the main bed. In order to create the eyelets, we have to make sure to put the needles that we emptied back in action. It is a good idea to also pull the needles all the way out before knitting rows, as you have 3 stitches onto one needle. This way you will be knitting easier. I'll be knitting 4 rows, but you can adjust this to however many rows you would like. This is a super simple idea, but I am showing you this to get you to learn the basics, and then you can try and explore different versions. For example, you can have more than 3 stitches and do more eyelets, or alternate the transfer, or just do different number of rows in between the transfer. There are just so many ideas you can try. For the next example, I will do a transfer just like we did before and knit 4 rows. And for the next round, I will transfer on the ribbon bed instead of the main bed in the exact same way. This is just to bring even more options and ideas for your designs. And now for the fun part. This is the technique I used for the sample you saw at the beginning of the video. We will begin in the exact same way as we began the first 2 samples. Now, instead of putting the needles back in action and knitting rows, I will transfer all the stitches from my ribbon bed onto the main bed. And I'm going to knit only 1 row. For the next step, transfer that 1 stitch we had left after transferring at the beginning from main bed to ribbon bed like so. Now, just as we were doing on the main bed for the first two samples, put one needle each side of this stitch back in action to create two eyelets. I will be knitting 4 rows now. You can choose to knit however many rows and you will have completed one repeat. We'll go ahead and do another repeat. I really love this sample and I had so much fun knitting it. There are just so many variations of it and you can just have a play and explore. So this is a sample with all the different stitches I tried, and I will give it a good steam so it doesn't pull in as much, because it's basically a rib, so that's why it pulls in so much. You can see that the parts where we transferred from main bed to ribbon bed are not pulling in so much. Always steam samples and never touch the fabric directly with the iron. You can see now that the sample is much flatter. So this is the sample that you saw at the beginning of the video. For this sample I knitted different numbers of rows in between the transfer and I just love it so much. This is something that you can explore as well. And this is another sample I knitted before. I used the same technique but slightly different and it's just so nice. And that is everything for today. I hope you've learned something new and you will give this a try. And if you do so, don't forget to tag me on Instagram or Facebook. I have linked both of them in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you next time.